The thumbnail says Walmart is canceling Christmas. Well, that's true because Walmart is one of the largest retailers. But truth is, Target, Kohls, Macys, lots and lots of places are going to be canceling Christmas. Now, they're not going to have a religious intervention and literally cancel Christmas, but what they're doing is they're canceling all of their orders from their suppliers. Now, this is going to have massive effects on what you can buy, how much it's going to cost, and what's available. So there's an article that I found in manufacturing.net. It's a bit of an obscure source, but it really gets into the meat of what's happening in the real retail world. It says Target is canceling orders from suppliers. And it goes on to say that Target is canceling orders from suppliers, particularly for home goods and clothing, and it's slashing prices further to clear out amassed inventory ahead of the critical fall and holiday shopping seasons. So they have a lot of stuff left over that they've already purchased. It's out of season, it's out of style, and they're kind of freaking out because their warehouses are full and they don't have room for more stuff. It's basically what they're saying. The actions announced Tuesday come after a pronounced spending shift by Americans from investments in their homes to money spent on experiences like travel and nights out for dinner and other pre-pandemic routines. Shoppers are also focusing on non-discretionary items like groceries, as inflation makes them more selective. That's a change that arrived much faster than major retailers had anticipated. Well, yeah, basically that people got locked in for a year or two and they're sick of being in, so they want to go out. They're doing outdoor things. They're focusing on experiences. Now, during the pandemic, a lot of people bought stuff for their house. Get a new chair, get a new couch, whatever, stuff like that. And Target made a killing off of that. And good for them. All these people had their stimulus checks, so they had a little extra cash and a bunch of time at home. And they were only in home, so they focused on their homes. It's easy to figure that out. Now you can go out. So they're doing concerts and they're doing travel and etc. No problem. But the last part about this is the change arrived much faster than major retailers had anticipated. I think that's based on the inflation. Now, the economy is not doing well, and you'll see the White House tell you that the economy is strong and we're not really in a recession, but we are. And this caught even major retailers kind of flat-footed, and they're scrambling now to kind of deal with it. The speed at which Americans pivoted away from pandemic spending was laid bare in the most recent quarterly financial filings from a number of major retailers. Target reported last month its profit for the fiscal first quarter tumbled 52% compared with the same period last year. Sales of big TVs and small kitchen appliances that Americans loaded up on during the pandemic have faded, leaving Target with a bloated inventory that it said must be marked down to sell. Yeah, here's what happened in my guess. People started buying a ton of home stuff. You know how people started making bread at home because it was TikTok trendy and everyone bought their, little stand mixer and bread maker and blah, blah, blah. So Target and other retailers were like, oh crap, we better buy a ton of these. That's what everyone wants. And they did want them for a little while. Now they don't. So they have warehouses full of these appliances they don't know what the hell to do with. My guess is come Christmas time, they're going to be dirt cheap. They are going to be giving away fancy toaster ovens, air fryers, stand mixers, bread makers, dehydrators, all this stuff that people thought was trendy during the lockdowns. They're going to be just blowing this stuff out. So be prepared for some nice deals. If you're looking for stuff like that, I think you're going to make out really well. Other retailers, including Macys, Kohls, and Wal-Mart, cited rising inventories when they reported their quarterly earnings results last month. Walmart said at its annual shareholders meeting on Friday that 20% of its elevated inventory were items the company wishes it never had. 20%, 1 in 5, 1 in 5% of the items they have in inventory they wish they never had. These are not strong, encouraging words from Walmart. They're kind of screwed 20% of the stuff they have in their inventory they are regretting. I'm telling you, big sales coming up on some of this stuff. Black Friday is going to be a bloodbath. They're going to give stuff away that you're not even going to believe. Target declined to give a dollar amount of merchandise orders. Okay, whatever. So this goes on. In aggressively clearing out unwanted goods, Target wants to make room for what is now in demand, including groceries and makeup products. But Target is also facing sharply higher costs for everything from labor to transportation and shipping, and it will offset price cuts where it can with higher priced goods for now. Blah, blah, blah. They're scrambling. My opinion is they're just scrambling. They're like, okay, well, they want makeup and stuff, but we have all this other stuff, and let's try to force them to buy this stuff at a higher price because it's in demand and will offset the losses from the stuff we can't sell. And yeah, bargains are going to be all over the place if you know where to look. And the trendy stuff, people are going to get hosed. You're going to overpay on that stuff. That's basically what they're saying, and that's how I interpret it. Now, there's another article I find. Let me see if I can pull this one up. Okay, Retail Wire. This is another site. Sorry for the messy on-screen stuff. I'm not really good at this, but it's going to be okay. Okay, this comes from Retail Wire. This is another obscure site for, sales and what have you. Now, Retail Wire. Okay, yeah, I am really not good at this, but that's all right. You just roll with it. Okay, here we go. Walmart and other retailers are canceling billions of dollars in orders. Okay, let's see what they've got going on in this article. Walmart, Target, Macys, and Kohls are among retailers that have recently said they are canceling some orders to better balance inventory levels, a replay of a strategy used at the start of the pandemic. It all goes back to this pandemic. I'll tell you, the pandemic locking everything down for a year and a half, it obliterated the supply chains. The people that were making stuff couldn't get supplies. And when they could, they were making stuff sporadically. And this, you can all relate to this. You remember when this all started? Toilet paper, impossible to find. Now, that's because the supply chain broke down. There was plenty of toilet paper around. They just couldn't get it to the stores fast enough. And then once the stores started running out and you see empty shelves, people freaked out. They started panicking and they thought they weren't going to be able to get it. So they bought more than they needed, which really made the problem much worse. Everyone knows how panicking works. Panic never solves any problems. But everyone got a first-hand example of what happened. And now, the toilet paper was the first, and that's how this started this snowball off with the supply chain crisis. And it's been going on and on again, off again, back and forth for the last couple of years. And you can see it pop up. Now, when you go to stores, it's not like the store shelves are empty, but there are empty sections. Like for 1 week, you couldn't get chicken legs, chicken wings. There was a massive shortage in chicken products, but you couldn't get chicken wings to save your life. And then that got fixed, and now you can get chicken wings again, no big deal. And baby formula, same thing. A couple of weeks we couldn't get it at all, and now it's back. And we're going to see these rolling kind of store blackouts. We're going to get sections of stuff that's not available. And you're going to keep seeing this. It's going to get more prevalent, and it's going to become more... towards the fall, we're going to see a lot of food shortages because the fall and winter harvests are going to be really, really bad this year. Wheat, corn, potatoes, things like that are going to be rough. And they're growing less. And because diesel is really, really expensive, it's going to cost a lot more to get them transported from where they grow to where they want to sell them at the grocery stores. And you're going to see a lot of spot shortages here and there, different random items all through the year. It'll be fun to watch. But back to this article. Other steps retailers are using to clear inventories as spending has slowed on some non-discretionary categories are employing markdowns and packing away products for the following year. The elevated inventory levels also reflect intentional overbuying to mitigate shortages and the ease of supply chain constraints. Okay. My guess, my interpretation is that these major retailers are guessing. They're guessing what they're going to need next year. And this elevated inventory levels, they're buying stuff they can get their hands on now and holding it. Because one, it's going to be more expensive next year. So things that don't age out with technology, like laptops. A laptop computer will age out with technology. What's good this year may be absolute garbage in 2 years. Same thing with cell phones. You can't stock up on cell phones because they come out with another model and then now this one is worth pennies on the dollar. But things like a toaster, a microwave, those technologies don't change and advance a lot. So if you stock up on toasters, you'll be good to go. They'll last a good 4 or 5 years. You can still sell them as new and no one's going to know the difference. My guess is that's what they're stocking up on, stuff like that. One risk of canceling orders is straining or damaging relationships with trading partners. After the pandemic arrived, many retailers were called out for not honoring their contracts to pay in full for goods that were in production, as well as for requests for postponements, discounts, or delays in payments. Several issued statements assuring their commitments, with Levi's and Gap offering low-cost financing to factories to weather payment delays. Okay. This goes down to the basic trade agreements. Like a major corporation like Wal-Mart, if they agree to buy 5,000 products, jeans, toasters, ham, doesn't really matter. They agree to buy 5,000 of X. Well, the company that makes this has to gear up with more employees. They have to maybe start another line. They have to maybe work a third shift, whatever. They have to make changes to make this product. And now Walmart's like, oh, hey, we're just kidding. We're going to cancel that order. That will destroy that business that usually puts all the cash they have on hand to upgrade to make this big order. It used to be called the Oprah effect. When Oprah focused on a product on her show, they sold so many that the company really couldn't keep up, and they made all their customers angry, and it literally ruined the company. It's a brutal thing when companies order something huge and then don't pay for it. Walmart's done that a lot over the years, and it's a brutal tactic if you want to take over a company and things like that. But anyway, that's where we're at now with this. They're canceling their orders, and the companies are like, no, you promised. We've got 400 employees. You got to buy the stuff you said you were going to buy. And Walmart is like, yeah, we just can't, so sorry. And now they're trying to do damage control because they're going to need these suppliers in the next year or two once this recovery bounces back. So they're really juggling saving money by canceling orders, and the other side of the coin is not canceling orders to keep their suppliers in good graces so they're able to supply again in the future. It's a tightrope, and this is going to be really tricky. The other risk is not having enough inventory to meet demand. Many retailers and brands also indicated they missed sales opportunities during the 2020 holiday season due to overly lean inventories as demand recovered more quickly than expected. Once again, they're guessing. They don't know what to do. They were terrified in 2020. They didn't buy anything, and people weren't quite into the pandemic in 2020, so they still tried to have Christmas and buy a lot of stuff, and they didn't have enough. The shelves were bare. You guys remember that. Okay, we're going to end on this, and this is going to wrap it up pretty nicely. Christina Hennington, Target's EVP and Chief Growth Officer. This is a quote. Now, I read this beforehand. I'm going to read it again to you, and let's see if we can parse this out and see what she's making out of this word salad. Steps being taken by the discounter's buying team include rigorously reforecasting expectations for the balance of the year and beyond, and determining where to reduce future receipts and orders. In some cases, it meant working with vendor partners to reduce our fall receipts in light of our updated expectations. It also meant quickly building compelling promotional plans to drive unit velocity for product we already owned, all with a focus on providing great value and generating excitement for our guests. Blah, blah, blah. This is nonsense. rigorously reforecasting expectations. You planned on something and it went to crap, and now you're vigorously reforecasting? You guessed wrong. You got a bunch of crap in your inventory that you don't know what to do with. That's basically what she's saying. For the balance of the year and beyond, we don't know how long this is going to last. Determining where to reduce future receipts and orders. What the hell can we get rid of is basically what she's saying. In some cases, it meant working with vendor partners to reduce our fall receipts. How much can we screw them where we won't get really mad? Updated expectations? Yeah, you're hosed for this winter, and you know it. It also meant quickly building compelling promotional plans to drive unit velocity for product we already owned. Let's come up with a sales campaign to give you our old crap that no one wants. Literally, that's what she's saying. With a focus on providing great value and generating excitement for our guests, let's get people excited to buy crap. This season is going to be really weird. You're going to see a lot of empty shelves. You're going to see a lot of old crap they're going to try to get you excited about. And the new and desirable stuff is going to be limited and crazy expensive. This is going to be a weird season, and expect it from everywhere. Wal-Mart, Target, Kohls. They left Best Buy off the list, but I'm almost positive that's going to be there. And don't think this won't trickle down to Amazon too. Amazon is huge, and they weren't listed in any of these articles. But trust me, they are definitely going to be affected by the absolute same things. Now, I'm going to leave a couple of links down below. There are several different sources that I pulled for this, and you're going to be shocked when you read how many people are canceling what. Sorry for this extremely long-winded, off-the-cuff kind of an article, but it's important, and it's going to be fun when winter comes around. Look for those bargains. Avoid those rip-offs. Carry on. I know I'm making a long video even longer, but you aren't going to hear stuff like this on TV. So if this was helpful to you, please like and subscribe. I really need the help.